Alright, let's get started. Howdy do everyone, my name is Angie, and thank you for joining me today with another Our Life episode. I think this is part 10 now. Man, I knew once we hit the step 3, the adult section, that things were gonna start moving slow. But yeah, it has been really slow. Each chapter basically takes up one part, so we might be here a while, huh? Alright, well, once again, I will have announcements at the end of this video, but I don't really have any at the beginning, so we're just gonna get started. Welcome back to our book club, by the way. I'm trying to decide whether or not I should just call this the Monday Book Club or the Monday Visual Novel Club or VN Club. I'm not entirely sure. Book Club makes me laugh, but I know some people might have a problem with me calling the Visual Novel Day the Book Club. So, anyone in the future that watches this video or anyone that, like, wants to give me your thoughts on that, I might do a community poll on that a little later. Regardless, let's go ahead and get started. Last we left off, we went shopping and didn't think it was a big deal that that we were out, but everyone else thought it was a big deal that they, I guess they abandoned us or whatever, but no one really, I didn't really think it was a big deal, but everyone else did. And today we are going into talks. Let's see what happens. Another placid summer day was drifting by. Your daydreams were chasing each other, none sticking around long enough to become a firm plan, but you really didn't mind that right now. A tapping worked its way into those dreams. Focusing more, you realized it was coming from your window. A grin popped on your face, as though it had been waiting all day for this moment. Hello, how are you today? I'm doing good, thank you. How are you doing? I'm a little tired, but besides that, I'm doing pretty good. Glad that we can do more Our Life. Heading to the window, you could see Cove outside. His habit of climbing this way really was a true Coveism. He'd rather scale your house than wait the couple extra minutes for you to come down. We'll hold out a hand for him. We'll be nice. The usual antagonizers are not here today to be mean to Cove, so we'll be nice to him this time. You offered Cove a hand to help him. Once he was mostly inside, he took it to help study the last bit of his entrance. He needed the help, despite how many times he'd done this.
Hey.
Hey, Rain. Hi, Cove. I'm glad you made it in okay. I hope my cat isn't being too loud in the background. He's looking outside and meowing at everything passing by. I shall make my presence known. Hey, Yuji! Welcome in, glad you could join us. It seems that all the Cove defenders are here today, but the Cove antagonizers are absent. Cove laughed at that and took one last look at his exclusive entrance. He hummed with a teasing look on his face. Sorry not to be present on the last live. It's alright. There's gonna be lives that not everyone can come to. Did not get notified about your last live. It was really last minute. I had a lot of technical issues and stuff, so it was hard to set up the waiting room. So I'm not surprised YouTube kind of had trouble with that one. Yeah, I think it's pretty impressive that I managed to keep this up without ending up with a new broken bone.
Sorry.
Oh, whoops, hold on. What did I say? Oh no, don't joke about that. Sorry, I promise it'll be alright. Cove's voice came out quietly, with a strangely pleased smile on his face. It still seems like you got the dream nail. I watched the footage, yeah. I had quite the adventure in that crystal cave or whatever. Wow, that was a lot. My platforming and boss battling skills did not come out very well. Did something happen? Cove opened his mouth to answer, only to have your phone ringing cut him off. You both turned to where it rested a little further up on your bed. It was still face down, so you couldn't tell who was calling. It's okay. Your attention shot back to Cove. He smiled at you awkwardly.
Don't worry about it.
Go check. It could be important. I'll wait. Thanks. Nah, from what I've seen, you, why did YouTube cut off my chat? Hold on. Getting a better view real fast. You beat everything first try, no less. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it was hard to do. And, like, some of them, like, you know, took me a little extra time, so a little embarrassing. But, like, you know, first try on every boss, I think I did really well. You shuffled forward and scooped the little noisemaker into your hand. You flipped it over and checked the caller ID. It's Miranda. Oh, you should answer it. I want to say hi too. With a nod, you accepted the call and set it to speaker. Hi, Miranda. Hi. There was something off about her tone. Cove met your gaze and you saw the same confusion in his expression. Please don't tell me that Josh and Bear convinced you to store your money with Millibel. Josh sent me a text about it because he couldn't make it to the stream, going like, send your money, but I was pretty determined to finish off the crystal mine before I went back to Fog Canyon or whatever. So I haven't made my way back over there, and I just, for whatever reason, don't seem to have any of the money from the bosses for whatever reason. Unrelated. You finished off at Deep Nest, right? Yeah. We just got into Deep Nest. I fell into a hole into a hot spring and did a really hard platforming section, but that's as far as I've gotten into Deep Nest, so not very far. I've heard it's the horrifying chapter, though, so looking forward to that. Everyone knows how much I just love spiders. Have you heard from Terry at all? Or did you hear about her from Cove? Huh? No, she hasn't called me, but Cove is with me right now. Hey. Oh, hi, Cove. Don't tell Bear or Josh that I told you this, but you can I can upgrade spells. Interesting. I'm glad to see Cove Bambi here. By the way, have you ever watched Bambi? Oh yeah, I've watched Bambi. I used to watch that movie a ton when I was a kid. I used to own it on VHS. Might be showing my age by saying that, but I used to watch that movie a lot. I had this really small TV monitor in my room, and I would watch it on that. Though The Little Mermaid, I think, is the one I watch the most. If my obsession with mermaids isn't obvious by now. I watched that one so many times as a kid that I actually ruined my VHS tape. And I had to get someone to fix it. Is that, wait, hold on. I lost my voice for a second. Is that what you were going to say? He shook his head no before realizing that it wasn't a good enough answer when one person couldn't actually see it.
No.
No, Terry hasn't called me today either. Is something wrong? And at that point that you were in the game, you can already upgrade the 2 spells that you have. But I'm not telling you how, just know that you can upgrade them. Aw, man! I could be upgrading my spells? Right before getting a dream nail. Huh. That's interesting. Okay. I'm gonna have to keep that in mind as I'm playing and figure out how to do that. There's like, I feel like so much in Hollow Knight that I'm missing. Like every time I start a new section, I feel like I've missed like so much information that like I need to backtrack everywhere. Did I read this already? I'll just read it again. No, Terry hasn't called me today either. Is something wrong? At that, Miranda couldn't hold herself together any longer. The muffled sobs from the other side of the line were unmistakable. Terry doesn't like me anymore, if she ever did. Josh would instantly know that I told you what to do. He'd scold me for ruining the experience. Oh, be careful, Yuji. I'm pretty sure both Josh and Bear rewatch my streams if they can't attend. So be careful. They might get onto you later on anyways. What? That doesn't sound right. You're probably her best friend out of all of us. Yeah. Yeah, both of them, I think, watch these streams over because sometimes they'll text me with information from the streams they couldn't attend. Please don't kill me. Yeah, you'll have to take that one up with them. I can't protect you from them. I can't protect myself from them half the time. Yeah, why do you think that? She sniffled, and there was a pause as you could hear her shift the phone to her other hand. Terry was here the other night watching movies with me. We were up super late. She realized her parents probably went to bed, so they couldn't pick her up. My mom and dad were definitely asleep then. Dad works early. I tried telling her it was okay to just spend the night, and she could text her parents what happened, but Terry really didn't want to. You glanced at Cove. He looked equally unsure as you about where the story was going. It didn't sound like a friendship-ending situation. I suggested things to make it easier if she was nervous, like she could sleep by herself in my room when I stayed somewhere else. If you don't hear from me, just know that I enjoyed watching your streams. No! Don't leave! Man. Yeah, Bear and Josh are vicious. You know, gotta be careful with them. I made them my mods for a reason. Yeah. What was that? Yeah. My voice did something weird there. Hold on, I'm gonna drink water. I don't have a choice. Bear is going to bite my ankles because there's... Alright, Bear, please no biting. Pretty please? For when you watch this later? Oh, man. I know, let's see. I know Bear will probably definitely watch this later. Because I'm pretty sure she watches all of my stuff. And we were talking earlier today, and she was mentioning that, that she was watching back the last stream she couldn't watch. Josh, though, I'm not sure if he watches, all of them. I might get a text later going like, what do you mean? Let's see. Where's this conversation going? They had a fight. Oh, right. I don't really know where... I don't think my characters know where it's going either. Oh my god, there's a fly here. What? Sorry. A fly just flew in my face. How did that... Where did it come from? No wonder my cat is going crazy. How did a fly get in here? I'm sorry for everyone that watches this video later and I'm just acting like super, super all over the place. I am super all over the place. I had 2 cups of coffee before the stream started. Oliver, my beloved. Yep, he hasn't done anything bad, so he gets to stay in the room. He's just acting, hyper. Alright, I haven't read this yet. And I said we didn't have to sleep at all. We could have kept watching movies until one of our parents woke up. I wouldn't have minded. I know not everyone can do sleepovers, but Terry wouldn't even tell me what was really wrong, or what I could do to help. I thought we could tell each other anything. I guess I was wrong. Did she stay in the end? No. We got too loud in the kitchen and my dad woke up. He offered to drive her home when he heard what was wrong. She texted me apologizing for my dad having to do what he needed when he needed rest, but that was it. She isn't talking to me anymore. Miranda, if Terry doesn't want you to be her girlfriend anymore, I'm available. Right, Amanda, who's Amanda? Miranda's so cute. The world was peaceful until the Cove haters came around, then started over Cove's glass bones. The Cove haters are not here today, it seems. So, Cove lovers rejoice. He doesn't get bullied right now. Also, Miranda is super cute and precious. You could hear every bit of the tears and heartbreak in Miranda's voice. This continued to be a shock for your neighbor, I see. But Cove recovered and spoke gently. I'm really sorry. There's no way Terry wanted to make you feel this bad, or that she's just done with your friendship because of this. Miranda's sniffling continued. You hope she had plenty of tissues handy. Yes, I am telling you, when Josh or Bear come around, they are going to start a war at the chat about Cove's glass bones. Yep. I don't think either of them can truly make it to the stream today, though. They're both pretty busy from the way it sounded. Our first choice this episode. Let me think about this. So the fight, if I'm remembering correctly, I was chatting a lot throughout that entire thing. Hey Miranda, let me give you a hug and kiss you, right? Just come here, cuddle up over here and I'll hug you. So the fight, if I got it right, was that Terry stayed too late and didn't want to sleep over, and things got kind of awkward with that, and they woke up Miranda's dad, and Terry left and she wouldn't explain to Miranda what was going on, and now is avoiding talking to her at all. There's like more nuance than that, but that is like the bare bones of what happened. I hope they are able to show up still. Yeah, I hope so. I always like having them in my streams, but both of them are pretty busy recently, so I get it. It's not a requirement to show up to all of my streams, as much as I love everyone being here. Alright. So that's the bare bones of the argument. And so I get it, that sucks. But it will be okay. Like, this isn't the type of fight... Like, it can... Depending on the person, I guess, it can be the type of fight that would end friendships, but I don't think this is the type, especially since Miranda and Terry, I think are both mature enough to be able to talk this out. I hate to admit it, but Josh and Bear are the reason this chat is alive. Yeah, when I started this channel, I had another chatter that was, like, really active, but she hasn't been here in a really long time. But yeah, Josh and Bear are both just really good at keeping conversations going. So it's always been really fun since they've joined. Most of the messages are mine. I mean, that's fine. When I started this, again, like, when I started this channel, it used to be that I would just have, like, one person that would come on my streams, and that one person would be the only one chatting the entire time. And, like, that was fun, too. It's just, you know, I'm a small streamer. It's how it is. Sometimes I have, plenty of people, and, like, the chat is super active, and sometimes it's just, like, a few of us. Anyway, I think it'll be okay. Like, I'm not trying to diminish what's happening here. Fights suck no matter what. So I'm not gonna say it's not a big deal, because you never know what's going to be a big deal to other people. But, like, I do think it will be okay. Hope they come back. Oh, they will. Have you ever played Garten of Banban? Alright. Alright. Okay. Not to keep derailing, our life here. But that is a fun one. Garden of Banban. So, I do have, I've mentioned before that I have edited videos on my channel. I do a lot of live streams here, and I don't, like, my edited videos haven't been coming out very fast because I have, like, a lot of other stuff happening. But I do have edited videos that are uploaded to this channel and are still being uploaded to this channel. Just, you know, very slowly. The last one was 5 months ago. I have others coming out, don't worry. But, I have a segment that has not started yet that will be coming out called Fish in Space. That, might involve a certain space that we know. And, during that, both of us play games together. And, that I would like to be a reoccurring segment on the channel, and one of the games we have played is, in fact, Garten of Banban. And so, those videos will be coming out. I can't tell you when, but hopefully soon. I know that the first video of Fish in Space is almost completely done. A while ago, I said, like, oh yeah, it'll be 2 weeks, but it's been, like, 2 weeks from that, so... Hopefully that video will be out soon, and I can, like, actually direct people to that now. I love to play with you too, but my English is not good when I'm speaking. Oh yeah, I get that. I'm the same way with, like I said, Japanese, where I can read it pretty well and I can type it out sometimes, but, like, ask me to say anything in Japanese and I'm horrible, man. I sound like a kindergartner. Alright. I'll go back to reading Our Life now. Sorry for derailing so much for the people that, like, came here for this. It had to be. You couldn't imagine any alternative. Miranda's voice sounded a little bit more collected after finishing her story, but you knew that the crying was far from being done. I thought she'd have reached out to one of you by now. Maybe she's not talking to anyone. Yeah, mostly my fault. Nah. Like, I like talking to chat. If you haven't noticed, I seem to like hearing my own voice quite a bit. So, like, you know, I may be derailing, but I think in all of the Our Life videos I have derailed a number of times. Because, like, I just like talking to you guys, okay? It's, I think, what we come to expect in these videos. Yeah. Sorry for bothering you and Cove about this. You're not bothering us. Right. You can tell us things. Thank you. Her shaking voice finally conveyed a little optimism, or at least relief that she wasn't dealing with it entirely on her own. Is that all right? If you do hear from her or anything, could you let me know if she's all right? We can. Thanks. Let's talk later, okay? Bye. 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 That didn't really seem like an especially productive point to end the call, though you also weren't sure where to go from there. Looking to Cove, his face seemed as lost as yours. Having second thoughts on asking for a chat live. You'd have to drink too much tea with honey because we'd be chatting 38 hours straight. Maybe. I do want to do just, like, a chat live at some point, though. I think that would be a lot of fun. I can just endlessly talk about, like, movies, anime, and stuff for hours straight. Sounds like my kind of day. Plus night, plus other day, plus, you know, I could just keep going. But, yeah, I am thinking about doing I have a ton of Pokemon cards that I haven't unboxed. And so I've thought about doing a live stream where I unbox Pokemon cards, and that can be one of our first chatting streams. But I had to figure out how to set all that up with my avatar and everything and not expose my face, skin, you know, stuff. So we'll see about that. with no alternative, you hung up and put your phone back on your bed. Cove crossed his arms, a frown creasing his face. He began to pace the length of your room, clearly trying to put the pieces together in his head in a way that made sense. Pokemon cards. Never had any, only Yu-Gi-Oh! I have a lot of Pokemon cards from Japan, and, like, the new ones I got are from Japan, too, because, like, my dad, goes to Japan used to go to Japan quite a bit, and he went back recently and brought back, like, a ton of Pokemon cards, and so now I'm just like, cool! I don't play the Pokemon card game, though. And it was mostly junk that was in my drawers since I never used it for any— yeah, basically, all my Pokemon cards, I've never used them. I just, like, put them in a nice, case. Oh, Oliver, no. Oliver, no, I can't— okay. Gotta pause, be right back, you guys know the drill. Gotta remove the cat. Okay, I'm back. Best cat in the world. You better hide him because if I find him, I'm gonna pet. There is no wall, door, window, or anything at all stopping me from petting that cat. He is, in fact, the best cat in the world. Gets a little too hyper, though, and knocks everything off of my desk, which is why he gets kicked out. Oh, man. Yeah, my cat is becoming a little too smart for his own good. You know, I've never thought that he was a very smart cat, but he is incredible at problem solving. And, you know, Baby Jail, that's right, Baby Jail. Hey, Harley, it's been forever. Glad you could join us. That's funny, I was just talking about some of my old chatters, earlier. Don't jail my beloved Oliver. He's not jailed. In fact, like, I'm the one that's being, imprisoned. I hope you're doing okay, Har. Yeah, my cat has gotten a little too smart for his own good. So usually the way I get him out of, this room, the way that I get him out of this room whenever he jumps up on the desk is that I just walk out because he wants to follow me. So we'll just walk out and go halfway down the stairs and Oliver will try to race me down the stairs. And then all I have to do is walk back up and go back into this room and close the door. And usually he'll just wait for me to finish the stream. But now, I guess he's figured out what, I guess he's figured out my plan, because now every time I've been walking out of the room, he just stays there and stares at me, and kind of waits for me to come back. That must break his little heart. Oh, I usually give him treats when I'm done with my stream, so, and he'll sleep on me as I'm working once the streams are done. So, you know, I try to give him all the love I can. It's just, you know, I also gotta, like, work, do the schedule that I promised. But, yeah, he's getting a little too smart. He's aware. So, like, just now, I ran down the stairs because, like, he loves racing me down the stairs. And I was like, you know, well, if he hears me run down the stairs, he'll follow me because that's what he, like, if I go all the way down, he'll automatically be like, oh, it's time, and start racing. But this time, I ran down the stairs and he didn't follow, and I looked up and he's waiting at the top of them, just going like, no, I know what you're trying to do. Cats usually run from me. Oh, I've been around cats my entire life, so I think I just know how to deal with them, I guess. I do have cats run from me occasionally. One of my friends lives in an area where there's a lot of stray cats, and yeah, they run all the time. But usually like house cats and stuff I'm pretty good with. Except one of my friends has a house cat that absolutely hates me, so there's that. But I've just lived with cats for so long. And like, I volunteered at animal shelters before too, when I was younger. I haven't had time to do stuff like that. Your cat hates me. He doesn't hate you. But yeah, he's already figured out that if I'm talking on the computer, that means I'm probably going to kick him out of the room. My granny's cat isn't. Oh, he always runs from me, but when he does not, he purrs, licks me, plays with me, and still when I go pet him the other day, he still runs from me. Aww. Yeah, my grandparents also had a cat that was very, we'll just say antisocial. And like, yeah, he would occasionally like let me pet him, but like, man, that cat would attack me. I got like scars from that cat. But then again, when they had that cat, I think I was like 6, and that was before I got like my first cat. So I probably didn't know how to deal with cats either. Socks was the name of that cat. He was kind of mean though. At least the other one is a sweetheart. He never once tried biting me and always lets pet him. Aw, his name is Benjamin. That's such a good name for a cat. Oh. Alright. Well, I think we successfully derailed a bunch there. I think we met the quota for derailment. That cat liked me, I think. Oh, I think, so Socks passed away when I was, really young, like when I was like 8 or 9. So I don't think it was Socks that you're thinking of. They did have a cat named Annie who was super friendly. Loved everyone. And so I think you might be thinking of Annie. Yeah, I think you're thinking of Annie, because like Annie was super sweet and like loves everyone and like would just immediately curl in your lap no matter who you were. Annie is still around. My uncle takes care of Annie now. Anyway, again, I think we've successfully derailed. We've met that quota, talking about cats, so I'll move on. Alright, Cove crossed his arms, a frown creasing his face. He began to pace the length of your room, clearly trying to put the pieces together in his head in a way that made sense. Again, I think this is going to work out. Like, it always sucks when your friends fight. I've been in the middle of friend arguments a number of times. And I've been in Miranda's position. I've been in Terry's position. I think I've been in everyone's position here. And, like, it does suck when your friends fight and there's nothing you can do about it. But, like, from what she has described so far, and there are, like, other sides to, like, every story here, so maybe there's more going on, but what she has described so far, and, like, with how they usually act, I do think this is something that they can recover from. Like, I think, if anything, it's just, you know, a little more communication they might have been able to avoid the fight. That's just my opinion so far with the information I've been given. Although I like cats, I also love dogs. Yeah, especially the big ones. Yeah, same here. I love big dogs. My favorite dog is the Dobermans. I like the pointy faces. My cat has a pointy face too. I like pointy faces in animals. I think it's cute for some reason. The chunky boys? Yeah, the chunky boys are good too. One of my friends just got a golden retriever and she's like one of the cutest things ever. She's a puppy. You mean you don't like Betty? I do like Betty. I love, like, the thing is that I love animals. I love basically all animals, unless, like, you know, if you count spiders as animals, I don't love spiders. I have a visceral fear of spiders. Well, like, I love animals. I have a fear of dogs because I got hurt by a dog when I was younger. So I have fear of dogs, but, like, I love them. I think they're adorable. It's just when they get close to me, I end up freezing up. I'm trying to remember my favorite dog race. I can't remember. I mean, all dogs are good in general, so, like, anything you say. But, like, yeah, there's a lot of dog breeds that, like, I just don't know what the name is. But I was like, I like this. I think it's cute. I'm just 16. I can't have it at that age. Oh. I get what you mean. I forget everything, man. I forget everything, and I'm like, should I be concerned about this? Alright. Let's choose our option. I keep getting sidetracked today. Again, I am so terribly sorry for people that watch this video later. I'm getting so sidetracked today. It was no fun hearing Miranda so sad, and you could definitely emphasize, but right now, there was no reason to get too worked up. It was only a matter of time until Terry reached out to someone, and you were sure hearing her side of things would clear it up. The empty state of your head before learning this was not helping you now. You couldn't put two thoughts together, and flopping back on your bed, you stared into space. We should probably try calling Terry. Cove's voice managed to drag you back to some grounding. He'd stopped pacing, but you still saw a perturbed look on his face. Is it really something we should get involved with right now? Cove's mouth pressed into a hard line. At the moment, it seemed like the two of you were on very different wavelengths as to how to deal with this.
Come on.
I want to talk to Terry. She's my friend too. Fine. Let's call her. I don't know if I should be reading it like, fine, then let's call her, or like, fine, let's call her then, or something like that. Just yesterday I accidentally took my brother's plate thinking it was mine. Mine was literally at the back of the couch and I had already taken a few bites. Oh no! I've done stuff like that before too, though. My favorite Pokemon, oh, your thing got cut off for me. Hold on. Favorite Pokemon water types are Melodic. Great Pokemon. I love Melodic. Primarina, Suicune, and Piplup. Yeah, those are some good Pokemon. I agree with that. Oh, what would my favorite water Pokemon be? I need to, like, really think about that. I do like Piplup's final evolution. The heck was it called? Why am I losing the name? See, Yuji, you're not the only one forgetting names now. Swampert and... okay, Y is on my YouTube chat getting cut off. Gyarados. Yeah, those are good ones too. Primarina, that's the Pokemon, the starter final evolution from, wow, Alola, I believe. If I'm remembering that right. I lost confidence in the middle of that, but that's, Hold on. I'm losing the name. Yeah, okay, I'm right. Okay, cool. I'm losing the name to, the Pokemon I was talking about. Piplup is from Alola. No, Piplup is Diamond and Pearl. I love Magikarp. I love Magikarp too. That's why I spent the 500 to get Magikarp in my game. Yeah, Empoleon. The final Piplup evolution. I really like that one. I also really love Melodic. Melodic is a good one. All right, let's get back. Cove looked away and pulled his phone out. You went over and stood at his side as he was dialing. The trainer I hate the most is Flannery from Pokemon Emerald. I never played Emerald all the way through. I got to the Electric Gym and kept losing over and over again. That's definitely one I'm looking forward to playing through, because I'm slowly going through the Pokemon games on my channel. If I can ever get past the first Pokemon game. God, we introduced a punishment wheel. We introduced a punishment wheel in my Pokemon game, and they got rid of my starter Pokemon, and I am suffering. Alright, Cove looked away and pulled his phone out. I read this. I don't know why I'm reading it again. Alright. Cove let it ring and ring and ring and ring. Terry didn't answer. There wasn't even an option to leave a voice message. Your shoulders slumped, and Cove looked even more troubled. If that was possible, he turned to you as if for some lifeline. Could you try calling? I'm gonna send a text just like, hey, I was trying to reach you, call me, or something. Used her to play with my boy Blaziken's feelings. Oh man. Yeah. I've heard that, like, the gym leaders of Emerald do not play around. Yeah. You took out your phone once more. Unfortunately, after another set of interminable rings, the line went dead. No answer, no voicemail. Hanging up, you saw Cove visibly deflate. He rubbed his arms, eyes distant, openly struggling with the whole affair. I don't like this at all. They're fighting. We barely know anything. And we're supposed to just wait and see? Yeah, man. Go, my cute pit boy. And dear, let me hug you and kiss you, please. Oh, man, I hear that. Look at his little squiggly face. I love that. I love the squiggly anime face in general. She made her Jokeways use that attack that makes your Pokemon fall in love. Oh, yeah. Oh, that one is hard. It's nice when you can do it, though. Then proceeded to hit my Blaziken to near death. Yep. I get what you mean, but man, when you have the Pokemon that can make the other Pokemon fall in love and then just proceed to attack, like, it's so nice. Despite it only being a minute since he texted Terry, Cove checked his phone again. He was desperate for progress, for something, and you frowned as you watched him. This can also be hard, because, like, whenever you're pulled into an argument with, like, friends fighting and stuff, and, like, you know, sometimes, like, they can resolve it on their own, and, like, they don't tell you because, technically speaking, you weren't really the person involved. And, like, that sucks sometimes. Because it's like, well, I want to help, I want to be there, these are two of my friends. But, like, the argument technically didn't involve you, even though they involved you. And you want to make sure they're both okay. I don't know, it sucks. It's a sucky situation to be in. I don't blame Cove for getting so worried about this. I only beat her because she could only use that attack after some time. And then, and only struggle, and then one upper kick to... Oh, yeah. Blaziken is good. Blaziken was my starter when I was doing, when I was playing Emerald for the first time, and then never finished it. I really need to go back and play that. Okay. Despite it only being a minute since he texted Terry, Cove checked his phone again. He was desperate for progress, for something, and you frowned as you watched him. Yeah, I can only imagine that this is also hard for, like, the MC here. Because, like, how to, like, word this correctly. It's like, you know, they also had their own plans. Oh, well, actually, they probably didn't have plans. I think Cove just came into the room unannounced. But, like, you know, you're hanging out with someone, you're trying to have a good time, and suddenly you're, like, in this situation where, like, you know, two of your friends are fighting, and your other friend clearly has a lot of anxiety now that, you know, you've both been dragged into this. And so Cove is very anxious about this because two of his friends, his best friends, are fighting right now. And, like, you know... our opinion could be differently. Maybe we're kind of like, yeah, you know, it's nothing to worry about. I'm sure that they'll get better. This doesn't seem like that big a deal. But, like, you know, you're not on the same wavelength as the other person. You're not as worried. And so, like, it gets kind of, like, hard. And so now, you know, maybe his anxiety is affecting you. And making you more anxious. Or maybe, you know, it's a hard situation all around. If Cove had a Pokemon theme, I will choose a Melodic and a Swellsbuck summer form, and I need to help to build the rest of his Pokemon theme. Huh. What would Cove's Pokemon team be? I definitely think he'd have a lot of mix of, like, water and grass type for some reason. I'm, like, really going for his hair color, I guess, when I say grass type. I think Cove would have a plant type. Yeah, I think so too. Probably that one that becomes a snake. Snivy? Is that, like, the starter Pokemon? Yeah, I love Snivy. That's, like, one of my favorite Pokemon. It was my favorite starter in that region. Yeah, it's Serperior is the final evolution for that one. I definitely wouldn't mind seeing Cove with a Serperior. For whatever reason. Like, I don't know if that, like, super fits, but, like, also, I kind of love it. But yeah, I definitely think it'd be a mix of grass and water type. Yeah, for some reason I keep wanting to put in that sandcastle Pokemon, but, like, I also don't think that fits him. I just keep thinking about it. But I think Cove might be a little horrified by it. Do you think a Melodic would be cool? Melodic is always cool. Like, I think Cove would love Melodic. I think Cove would love Phoebus, too. Like, I think Cove would take such good care of his Phoebus and love on it so much that it would become, like, the most beautiful Melodic. Like, Cove is so sentimental, I can imagine that. PNG YouTuber breaks the record for longest live stream ever. She said that chat made her get distracted too easily. It's true. I think we've only gotten, like, such a short frame of this chapter. And I just keep going, like... I just keep looking at chat and going, like, oh, well, here's my next 30-minute tangent. I choose Melodic because Cove is beautiful and he deserves a beautiful Pokemon like Melodic. Agreed. Oh. Like I said, because Phoebus evolves into Melodic. But Phoebus, because it's like the ugly duckling story where you have, like, you know, Phoebus that is known as, like, kind of like the ugly Pokemon, but then you have Melodic that's, like, one of the most beautiful Pokemon. And, you know, if you take care of Phoebus really well, then it becomes, like, such a beautiful Melodic later on. And I think, like, that is perfect for Cove. I think, like, that's, like, whole, like, not like Cove was ugly or anything, but he had, like, such a transformation, or at least we get to see him grow up, and so it feels like a transformation. And I think, like, it works really well for him to have a Pokemon like Melodic. I don't think Cove would like the sandcastle one, since it would make him remember about that time he broke his arm. Gosh, Josh will make fun about this. Yes, I can imagine. Yeah, I think he would be, like, at first he'd be like, oh yeah, sandcastle Pokemon, that's cool. And then if you explain the sandcastle Pokemon to him, he'd be too freaked out by it. So I don't think it would work. But, like, I keep imagining him with the sandcastle Pokemon. But I don't actually think that he would have the sandcastle one. Why can't I remember the name of the sandcastle Pokemon? Alright, I'm gonna continue. Have you ever watched the 3 How to Train Your Dragon movies? Yeah! Oh man, Space loves those movies, and, like, she dragged me to see, like, every single one of them. I also really like those movies. But yeah, I could not be friends with Space and not watch those movies. Okay. So in this situation, again, I don't really want to, like, brush it away because, like, I don't think that's entirely the best way to, like, handle situations like this. And, like, Cove is already really anxious, so I think, like, trying to say, like, hey, you're making me anxious, well, like, actually, that actually might not be a bad way to go. Saying things like, hey, like, man, you really need to calm down, you're making me anxious about this, and just, like, trying to let him know in a gentle way, like, how he's acting might inadvertently make him calm down as well. Also, it might have the opposite effect, because he might get defensive with it. Because depending on how the person acts, they might, like, completely take it the wrong way. I'm not ashamed to admit that I am a legendary spammer. I went through Eleanor to catch them. Why would I not use them? Alright, so I think, instead of saying, like, we need to try to relax, just being like, hey man, you're kind of making me anxious. Let's take a step back. Cove stared hard at the screen, as though he was trying to will a new message to appear. As your words sank in, he forlornly let his gaze fall to the side. Cove's voice came out so small and quiet that you would have missed it if he hadn't already taken your full attention. Sorry. You nodded slowly. Cove closed his eyes, letting out a sigh as though trying to clear away pressure from inside his chest. Glancing at your own phone in vain, you considered sending a text message too, if that would even help. This was making you feel all twisted up. You could see the same sort of discomfort on Cove's face. There was something consoling in that, at least. Words drifted from his mouth like a feeble breeze. It'll be fine. It's gonna be okay. Yeah. You could hear it in both of your voices, how much you wanted to give and receive reassurance. You tried to believe the sentiments, weak as they were. Should we... What do we even say if we do hear from one of them? His pacing resumed as he attempted to answer his own question. We should probably tell them to talk to each other instead of only us, maybe? He slowly came to another halt, like a gear winding down. Alright. I do think it's important to hear Terry's side of the story, but at the same time, I think it's most important that these two talk to one another. Because sometimes, even though you want to involve your friends, it is better to try and just, you know, talk it out. Of course, Miranda in this situation was saying that Terry has been avoiding her calls. But maybe give it, like, a day before involving your friends and stuff. It's just, in my experience usually, unless sometimes there are extenuating circumstances, and definitely different, you know, different take for, like, everything that happens. But sometimes with these things, like, maybe the other person just slept late, maybe they just can't answer your call right now. Maybe it's nothing major, and, like, they'll talk to you about it. And so sometimes, like, waiting a day before you involve other people does help. Oh cool, you have a Lapras, face Giratina, the the god of dark matter, Palkia, the god of space, and Baidu. Oh. Yeah, here, just face all of these guys. If you were an Eevee evolution, you will be Vaporeon. Yeah, probably. Honestly, my favorite evolution is Sylveon, because it looks like a magical girl assistant. And I love magical girl stuff. But, yeah, I'd probably be Vaporeon just from the water theme alone. And Vaporeon has a cool, like, little mermaid tail thing. Apart from Glaceon, cool flag. Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to, like, go through all the evolutions. I think all of them are really nice. Like, I'm slowly trying to collect, like, the whole line of evolution plushies. Because, like, I don't know, I just really love them. I've always wanted there to be a ghost type evolution. Because ghost type is my favorite typing. I tend to, like, love all the ghost type Pokemon. But yeah, they've never made an evolution for ghost type or dragon type. Which are the two types that I always thought would be, like, super cool with an evolution. Alright, let's see. Yeah, I kind of agree with we should just comfort Miranda and... Or, no, wait, no, that wasn't what I thought it said. I thought it said something else. Hold on, let me read through all of these, actually. Why do I always have to come up with all these things? Not exactly that. I guess the best thing in here with the options they gave me was we should find out Terry's side of the story. I do think that, like, if anything, they should probably talk it out more, and we should probably be like, hey, just talk to one another, but with the options they gave me, like, maybe, we should find out Terry's side. Because, and this might just be, like, how I'm reading it right now, because sometimes it's a little hard to tell what the option choice is, but it kind of sounds to me that we should only tell them to work it out between themselves, that's it. Sounds like a little passive-aggressive. Or frustrated. And, like, again, that could just be how I'm reading it. It might not, be the tone that they were going for. But, yeah. I will choose the first one. Nothing could be done until you knew what she thought of this. That much was certain. Cove nodded slightly in agreement. For several minutes, you both remained there in silence, drowning in your thoughts. Eventually, Cove turned around. I'm gonna text Terry that we already know what's going on. Maybe she'll have an easier time talking to us because she won't have to pretend or explain. Let's see. Oh, we can be really overwhelmed by this. Yeah, like I said, sometimes when the other person is very anxious, or, like, again, just if your two friends are fighting and you're kind of dragged into it, it can make you really anxious. It sucks being in the middle of these things, man. I also get, like, why. I'm not, like, blaming Miranda or Terry for, like, talking to us about it. But, like, yeah, it can be, like, really anxiety driving. I think come with, like, a Gardevoir and say sister. Let's see. You're fixated on this. That's not a good idea. This one is tougher. 'Cause Gardevoir is my favorite Pokemon. Gardevoir is good. I love that entire line. I can't think of the other Pokemon that you can... Because, like... Okay, wow, I forgot the name of that entire line. Because it's Ralts, and then I can't remember the second one. But, like, the evolution, you can either get Gardevoir or the other one, and I think both of them are really cool. Okay. My favorite Pokemon, though, is actually, Ralts, Kidia, Gardevoir, and Gallade. Yeah. Yeah, I love Gardevoir and Gallade. I think both of them look really cool and elegant. She unironically saved me in Pokemon Emerald. Yeah, getting a Ralts changed me in that game. It helped out so much. Yeah. My favorite Pokemon, though, is, like, unironically, I love Gengar. That was, like, my first, favorite Pokemon. Well, technically speaking, Bulbasaur was my first favorite Pokemon when I was, like, a little kid. But, like, Gengar was, like, the one I latched onto when I was a kid. He's, like, a big purple emoji. I loved him. Alright. So I don't really think the first one. I'm not sure about the second one, because it is true, Miranda didn't say she was alright, that, like, she wanted to admit, but I think, like, that can also frustrate Cove in this situation to say something like that. I don't really want to be the anxious one in this situation, because, like, I think Cove is already anxious. I think you're pushing too much. It might make Cove more anxious, but, like, it might be good to tell him too. And I think the other two are just a little too, well, like, actually, that's not a good idea. Cove might not be bad, but I think the last one is definitely a little too aggressive for Cove right now. So, I think I'm gonna go with I think you're pushing too much, and I'm gonna hope that that tone is not aggressive when I say that, but just kind of like a calm, like, hey man, you're kind of pushing this, I think you just need to take a step back. Cove's eyebrows grew together and the grip on his phone tightened. You're not the only one worried. Cove bit his bottom lip. You could see in his posture that you'd made sense to him, but he was fighting his desire to agree with you and keep going with his own way. Why can't you just get over it? No, that's not what we're saying. The live was 40 seconds late. That seems to happen a lot to, like, multiple of my viewers. I think that's why YouTube, whenever I look over at the, at my viewers, it says that no one is watching me currently, and I'm like, but I'm talking to people, how can that be true? And I think that's usually what it means, is that people are just a little behind. So YouTube just tells me no one's watching. I'm talking to no one. It's all in my head. Let's see. So, in this particular case, actually saying the I know you're still thinking about it stop might actually get him to, like, fully calm down. Have you ever thought about making lives on TikTok or Twitch? I've never used either site before, so I get a little anxious using it. I have thought about Twitch, and I actually do have a Twitch account. It's on, the link to it is in my description on my homepage. So if you go to my YouTube homepage and, like, click on the drop down about me, I actually have a link to my Twitch page there. So I do have a Twitch, but I have never used it. Mostly because I'm familiar with YouTube and I know how to work YouTube, and I know nothing about Twitch, and it frightens me a little bit. It frightened me to do YouTube too, and switching, it's like I'm comfortable here. So I get kind of, like, in between on, like, switching over to Twitch and stuff. Breathe in, breathe out. Put Oliver in your lap and pet him. Relax. And repeat to yourself, you can do it. Oh, that's what I had to do to start YouTube. Whenever I was like, all right, I'm gonna start streaming, it took so long to get the courage to do it. I was nervous, so nervous doing my first stream. And now, like, I'm at a point where, like, I'm pretty comfortable and I'm, like, happy whenever I stream. But like, man, I remember my first stream, I was like close to tears. I was so nervous doing it. And there's only been one other stream where like I was close to tears, but like I don't really want to talk too much about that one because that was that stream is up here if anyone finds it, and like I didn't cry or anything on it, but like yeah, I won't like say which stream that was, but like yeah, there was another stream where like some stuff happened that like wasn't good, and like I was my anxiety like went through the roof on that one. It wasn't like it wasn't a popular stream though, like not a whole lot of people were on that one. And that was also, I guess it wasn't fairly early on. It was like midway through, from when I started to now. But yeah, other than that, like every time I've streamed, like I enjoy myself a lot. Like it's a lot of fun doing this. Anyways, yeah, answering that whole thing, because I kind of diverted there. Wow, I am really going off topic today, huh? Yeah, I have thought about Twitch. I have a Twitch account, so like that is something I can do eventually. Like I don't plan on doing like exclusively doing YouTube forever. Like I can multi-stream. So that is something that I plan on doing eventually. Probably when I'm less busy and can actually focus on, you know, designing good overlays and stuff. TikTok, I didn't even know you could live stream on TikTok. Like, I've never used TikTok in my life, so, I don't know about that one. Cove is going to die of old age if we keep on talking. Yep. Yep, and it has been an hour of me just, like, not... just getting distracted by chat. Alright, I think in this case, actually telling him to stop thinking about it might actually make him less anxious. Hopefully it doesn't, because sometimes, depending on who you're talking to, it can actually make him more anxious if you're just like, even if it's playful. And I'm hoping that it doesn't make him more anxious, because you know, sometimes, like, when people are just like, you're still thinking about it, stop. It's used as more of, like, a playful thing rather than a demand. And I'm hoping it comes out that way. His aquamarine eyes practically pierced your soul with how plaintive they were. That look could knock down mountains. Would it really be so bad? Yes, you have to give it time. You can talk to me instead. For a long moment, he held that crushing stare. Thankfully, he let out a breath in defeat, and you felt your own breathing relax. A small noise escaped his lips. All the frustration at the situation crumbled away from his face, and he spoke softly. Thanks, Rain. I'm glad it's not just me with all this happening. Yeah, I've navigated fighting friends before, my buddy. It never gets easy. But the best thing you can do is just try to take a breath and relax. Cove took one last look at his phone and then put it away. His effort at a smile were meager but earnest.
It's okay.
We can just forget about it for a while. Terry will talk to us when she wants to. Finally! No. I don't want to word it like that. But, oh, we can send him away. I guess, like, yeah, if you got, like, really anxious, like, we're actually, like, really anxious about it, or Cove, like, made you feel a certain way, that would make more sense. But in this case, like, when we were the ones that calmed him down, I think you'd like, Blox Fruits? What's that? Alright, let's smile at him. Even this slight lessening of tension between you and Cove was working wonders on your shaking heart. The last thing any of you needed was more diversion among your friends. A silence stretched on in what felt like hours, but it likely wasn't that long before there was a knock at your bedroom door and Mom peeked in. Just wanted to check in on you. Oh, Cove, when did you get here? when she saw, wow, I can't, for whatever reason, I just can't, like, speak today. Blox Fruits is a Roblox game. I see. My cousin is, like, trying hard to get me to play Roblox. So I guess I'm gonna have to play it. Like, I'm just gonna have to, like, go into it, I guess. I don't know much about Roblox, except there's, like, a lot of, like, games that are made in it. Like, I know Doors is in it. And, Rainbow Friends is another one that people told me to play, but, like, I'm not as excited about that one looking at the, screenshots. But yeah, both of those are in Roblox, I believe. But yeah, I've never used it before, so I guess I'm gonna have to start. When she saw you were there, she opened the door all the way. Ma was standing there as well. She slipped past her wife to come inside your space. What's going on? We're okay. It's just Miranda called earlier. She and Terry are fighting, but none of us know what's going on with Terry. Your parents exchanged a meaningful look, though its meaning was lost on you.
I'm so sorry.
That's too bad. I'm sorry there's trouble with your friends, sweetie. Is there anything we can do to help? Out of the corner of your eye, you saw Cove rub his arms awkwardly, unable to add anything. No, we're just waiting to see if Terry calls or texts, or if Miranda does. Well, we can at least help you take your mind off of things while you're waiting.
Yeah.
Another great idea, Lonnie. We can get the whole gang together for some quality time. Mom gave you a soft smile and added, "This'll be good, especially since it might help make up for what happened at the farmer's market." Again, I didn't think what happened at the farmer's market was that bad. You guys really don't have to make up for it. Yes, it'll be wonderful. I'll go see what Liz is up to right now. Excited, she fluttered a few steps away, and then stopped. She pivoted on her heels and raised a single finger, flashing a big smile at Cove.
It's no trouble.
And of course, Cliff will be welcome too. Knowing your family was always there for you, that couldn't be underestimated. In fact, it meant everything to you that your moms cared so much. Thank you. Yeah, thanks. That's nice of you.
You're welcome.
You're both very welcome. Don't sweat it, not-so-kiddos. Leave things to us. Just relax and we'll call you when it's all together. You nodded and your moms dispersed for now, springing into action for their impromptu get-together. You flopped down on your bed, feeling like you could sink into it and disappear. Cove, meanwhile, took a spot on the chair off to the side. You sighed at the same time, and Cove's mouth pulled into a bent smile at that. He gave his phone another quick check, and his eyebrows furrowed. Still nothing? Yep, this is crap, huh? Yeah. Yep. Cove, what's wrong? What's really wrong? One disagreement doesn't make you act like this. That got a pointed pause in his movement. Cove was carefully trying to put his thoughts together. He spoke in a fragile voice. When people you care about, when they're unhappy with each other, there's nothing you can do. At least when you're in a fight yourself, you have some responsibility, some control over it all. I wish it didn't have to happen, but that isn't possible. So, oh well, I guess. His attempt at giving a nonchalant shrug after that was pitiable. Yeah, it makes me feel horrible too. I think I understand why Bear is, talking with us, but there are only 2 people displayed. Her life is probably late. Yeah, it might be. Yeah, that might be the case quite a bit. I think it's the case for, like, most people that join the stream. Because, like, there was at one time I had, like, quite a few people, on stream, but it was only saying that I had, like, 2 or 3. And there was, like, at least 6 people in the chat, and I was like, So yeah, I think it happens quite a bit that, like, YouTube, for whatever reason, will just, delay some people. But I'm just happy that people are watching me at all, so. Alright. In your lap, your hands momentarily curled into fists. This kind of powerlessness, it wore you down. You looked to Cove and were reassured by his understanding nod. There was a question you had to ask. Is it because of what happened with your parents? Oh, okay. We're, really going there. Alright. Cove ran a hand through his hair, a strained smile spreading across his lips. For him, this pain struck close to his heart. Just as quickly as it had come, his smile was gone, lost amid his faraway gaze. Yeah, you got me. It's like my parents. I miss Bear? Yeah! I love it when she comes to the streams. But, yeah, she was busy today. She was annoying, but she was fun to talk with. I hope she watches this later. I want to see her reaction. Yeah, whenever I talk about her and she's not here, she always comes back and is just like, how dare you? Despite knowing him for so many years, Cove had never spoken of the years before he moved to Sunset Bird, before his parents separated, in any detail. He whispered his thoughts distantly, almost unconcerned with whether you could hear them or not. They used to fight all the time. I think they got along when I was a baby. I mean, they had to have wanted to be with each other at some point. But when I was old enough to remember anything, it was already bad. There was always something wrong, and I could never help. I just wanted them to be happy. You tried to imagine your moms breaking up, and the very idea scared you, but Cove had endured that for real. I'm sorry.
Rain. Don't worry about it.
It's okay. Despite that revelation, Cove gazed reassuringly at you. It's not like that anymore. Things are so different now. I don't even really think about it. Again, the sorrow reasserted itself. When he continued, you could barely hear him. Though, I guess it's pretty obvious I haven't forgotten either. Well, none of the, Cove, the Cove, bulliers are here, so I'm gonna be nice to him. HW, never deposit anything with Millabelle unless you have over 4,500 geo. Yep, I can already hear them screaming now. Let's cross the room and take his hand. He shot up out of his seat as you approached, but didn't resist as you gently took his hand. Your head fell on his shoulder, and you squeezed his hand reassuringly. You saw him watching you with glossy eyes. Then Cove sighed contently. His mouth pulled into a soft smile. Wordlessly, you knew that he understood. You felt at peace with him here. When he gripped your hand back, you knew that he felt it too. The two of you took a seat again, but this time side by side on your bed. Today was a lot, huh? Yeah, it was. And we're gonna lean against him. Resting the side of your head onto his shoulder, you glanced up at his face. Cove watched you affectionately. In that gentle gaze, you finally felt like everything was going to be okay. No matter what happens, we can make it work. His mouth pulled into a bent smile at that. You chuckled, resting your head comfortably back on his shoulder.
Me too.
I think so too. And for a while you stayed like that. A comfortable quiet fell between you, and the sun fell with it. The warming calm ended when Cove gasped sharply. You spun, half expecting to find him nursing an injury, but instead found him staring straight ahead. What?
Oh my god.
I think my phone just vibrated. Do you want to check? Yeah. He patted his pockets, fumbling in his panic, and yanked the phone out. The force of the action nearly catapulted the device out of his grip entirely, but he caught it just in time. Just like a chat. Alright. Keep reading. His eyes honed in on the screen. It's Terry. Thank God. She says she's sorry. He looked back at you, eyes wide, as his nerves started to fray once more. What should I say? Probably ask if she's talking to Miranda. Okay. He flashed you a shaky smile as he began to type. You suspected that he'd had similar thoughts himself. He wanted the reassurance of a second opinion. Cove's phone buzzed nearly as soon as the message was sent. It's Terry again. She's talking to us. You leaned in, watching the conversation unfold on Cove's screen.
Right.
She's gonna actually call. Cove held his breath as you waited. Though he was good with people, he'd never been at ease managing conflict. Is Cove good with people now? I guess he's more confident, I just wasn't expecting. Was Josh already a regular before I found out about Vampire Survivors? Oh yeah, he was. He's been a regular since my Long Live the Queen video, which was close to when I started this channel. So he's been a regular for quite a while. Bear's also been Bear might have been in my first stream, I can't remember. His phone rang out. Cove jammed the answer button. He switched the phone into speaker mode, allowing you to participate in the conversation. But despite his immediate reaction, his voice lacked the same resolve when he spoke. Hey. It was tentative, a white flag fluttering in the wind. Rain is here too. Hi.
Hey.
Hey, buddies. Terry's voice was barely recognizable without her usual quick patter and energy.
Are you okay?
Are things okay? I don't know. Probably not. Cove tensed, his free hand coiling in an anxious fist. Can you talk to us about what happened? You heard Terry sigh over the phone as she unburdened herself. Pretty much. I was at Randy's house. We decided to watch some movies. She super liked that I'd never even seen before. Turns out there's a lot of those. We watched one, then another, and another. We were having so much fun. Each time one finished, she'd had another one to share with me. Yeah, some people just leave and come back all the time. Or just leave. 'Cause, like, you know, it's a web show. It happens. I never expect people to, like, necessarily say goodbye. But when they do, it's always nice. Hope she comes back. Yeah, I do too. I always like seeing everyone. Especially, like, I really like it when people, come back. Makes me feel special. No, I enjoy having all of you guys here. Yeah, I guess it can be lonely to be alone at chat. No one to argue with. Yeah, again, the usual Cove bulliers are all absent today. Just happens. I probably could have avoided that by, like, having the stream a little early. But, like, 5:30 usually works really well for me. 5:30 CST, that is. Alright, where was I? Yeah. I didn't really think about the time. I only wanted to say yes to Randy and watch her movies. Oh, just know, Angie, you are my special JJK second season theme. Glad to hear it. Alright, let's see. Did I already read this? I don't remember. I can't remember what happened 3 seconds ago. I have the memory of a fish, okay? There's a reason I chose this as my persona. I didn't really think about the time. I only wanted to say yes to Randy and watch her movies. She spoke wistfully, but her words were full of affection. It was Randy, you know? I wasn't thinking about my schedule or what time it was. Yeah. Then I finally saw the time, and oh no, it was way too late. I already knew I couldn't stay. She took a deep breath, her voice becoming softer when she resumed talking. I was so stressed out, I just couldn't deal with it. Miranda wanted to help. She kept coming up with ways to make it better and trying to figure out why I was so upset and stuff. I was trying to answer her questions, and there were so many, but I couldn't really answer all of them. I didn't even know why some of her ideas didn't work with me. It made my head ache. I still had the first problem and Randy there, trying to help, blasting all these questions and suggestions at me faster than I could even think. She gulped audibly, sniffing. I got frustrated and told her to just leave me alone, but then she wanted to talk about why I wanted that, and we started having a fight in the kitchen. It woke Randy's dad up. We told him about how I wanted to go home, but my parents couldn't get me, so Mr. Eckert offered to do it. Oh. I accepted because I definitely couldn't stay then, not after throwing a racket and turning it into such a big deal. I feel awful and embarrassed. Why did I yell at Randy and hurt her feelings? I made her dad lose sleep by waking him up and having to drive me home. What do you say after that? I have no idea. I didn't know where to start, and I didn't want to make it worse by saying the wrong thing and fighting again. So, I'm not talking. Terry, Randy isn't mad at that, you know. Wow, Randy isn't mad that you didn't want to stay or that you fought. She just wants to feel like you can talk to her. I mean, you can say whatever you want, just she'll listen. Not talking to her at all is pretty much the only wrong way to go about it. Terry lamented mournfully on the other end of the line, but he had a point. Unless she faced Miranda again, there would be no resolution. Cove is very strong. He is now! Yeah, this situation is tough. So, she got overwhelmed, which definitely I've been there before. And now she's like having a hard time facing Miranda, which again, I have been there before. And like it truly is like the best thing you could do is to talk with them. Like saying nothing truly is the worst in that situation. You know, it's easiest to say nothing, but saying nothing at all can sometimes be the worst thing and sends like a worse message. You know, there are times to say nothing, but this is not one of those times. And like, it sucks. I get where Terry is coming from. But yeah, they definitely need to talk this out. You looked at Cove, hunched over the phone, staring pensively into it and searching for a solution. This couldn't be solved with the other key party missing, but what if you brought them in? Your phone was still free. We'll suggest it. Like, ringing Miranda up without saying anything, like, prepare them first. That can bring a lot of anxiety. I could call Miranda. You could talk to her with us. Cove brightened up, the concerned furrow in his brow, which had taken root with Miranda when Miranda first called, eased.
Well,
That could work. Terry, are you up for it? She made a noise that wasn't a word, but nevertheless conveyed her hesitation and worry. but she brought it to a close with a decisive exhalation, as if pushing all negative thoughts from her body. Have you ever considered making a Discord server? It's one of the things I plan on eventually doing. Might be a little bit before I make one. Just because I've never done it before, and, like, making rules and all that. Gotta, like, do a little bit of research before I just dash straight into it. What is happening outside? I just heard screaming outside. Hopefully that's nothing. Sometimes my neighbors are just really loud. They watch TV in their garage with the garage door open, so sometimes I hear that. But yeah, Discord will eventually happen. Just hasn't happened yet. Okay, let's see. Where was I? Yes. Alright, I'll do it. Cove nodded. Now that you'd received approval from everyone, you pulled out your phone and called Miranda. You set it to speaker and waited for her to pick up. Luckily, she did.
Hi.
Hi, Rain. Her voice was still distant, as if her thoughts were elsewhere, but it was loud enough for your needs. Hi, you're on speaker. Terry's on speaker too. On Cove's phone. Oh. She paused while she digested this information. You watched the phone screen, hoping that she wouldn't hang up as a result. Yeah, I answered it just a bit ago. To recap, I am planning on doing a Discord eventually. I just haven't done it yet.
Really?
Oh, really? Yep. It's really me. Can you hear my voice all the way from your house to theirs, and then mine? I can. You and Cove exchanged looks, waiting for the wall between them to break, and wondering who would be the one to do it. As the quiet dragged on, you caught Cove chewing his cheek. He must have weighed up the same question as you, whether to encourage the conversation along or leave Miranda and Terry to resolve it themselves. The answer came in the form of one sniff, followed by another, from Cove's phone. Sorry, Randy, I hope you still like me. What? You were the one acting as if you didn't like me. Her tone was defensive, no doubt a result of her wounds from last night still being raw. What? No way! Everyone likes Randy. You're wonderful. Your eyes met Cove's. His phone was tilted towards you, capturing the call indirectly. You moved your phone closer to his, hoping that the signal was strong enough to convey every nuance of tone. I love trauma, especially when it all ends well. So do I. Cove did likewise, bringing his cell right next to yours, even bumping against it as he shifted his grip. I don't know what to say. That's the only reason I wouldn't talk to you. If I had known the answer, I'd have told you right away. Miranda murmured on the other end of the line. You didn't want to stay? Anything I tried to do bothered you, and you could have told me you didn't know. Yeah, I think I was angry at myself. I did a dumb thing, and I didn't want help with it. I wanted to be mad and just deal with it myself. It made me keep doing dumb things. I have been in that situation so many times. I definitely know how Terry feels. Like, sometimes you just do dumb things, and then, like, afterwards, it's like, you know, you want to be angry, you want to be sad, you don't want someone to help you. You just want to, like, sit in it for a bit. And, like, yeah, I've been there, unfortunately. Especially at this age, like, they're 18. Like, yeah, that was the time where, like, I was really going through some stuff. And so, like, that happened quite a bit, unfortunately. It's good to be able to recognize, like, those moments and, like, analyze those moments about yourself. And then, you know, communication is important. Like, if you end up lashing out at someone, being able to talk about it later on when you know you're in the wrong is so important. Ever thought about making a different stream, like reacting to something, anime or horror video? I have thought about it before. I usually, so like when it comes to reaction content, there are like quite a few things that I would like to do, but like I kind of, like, I feel weird about reacting to people's videos without asking permission first. Like, of course I'll always credit no matter what, but like I just feel like I should probably ask permission before I just like watch someone's video on stream. I don't know. It feels weird to me in a way, even though that's something like I do watch and I do want to do content like that. But yeah, I'm still trying to figure out how, like, what the best way to go about that is. So like there definitely are like different stream ideas that I want to do, and like I planned a while ago, I said that I planned on doing a just talking stream that was kind of like a roadmap for my channel of like the kind of content that I really want to be making. Because I love games, I love playing games, and like they're a lot of fun. And there's a lot of games I want to play. I'm not planning on stopping that, but it's not the main kind of content that I want to do. Because like, I don't talk about it that much so far, but like I am a writer. Like, it has been my job before, and like I've done a lot of writing work, and I would like to be able to like tell original stories on this channel and like do like more story-driven content on this channel. But like I'm just trying to like set up my channel more and like figure things out more, because I'm very new to streaming and I'm very new to social media. And like, so I'm trying to like figure things out more and organize myself out more before I just like start jumping into that kind of content. What is the little fish's name again? It's Filbert. Yeah, my little fish is Filbert. Space actually named him. And it just stuck. You can call him Phil. I don't mind if you call him Phil. But yeah, Filbert is his full name. Alright, I will continue on. Oh. When she spoke again, her voice was quiet, as tender and vulnerable as the words.
I'm sorry.
Staying up late, watching stuff was all my fault. I had to find a way to fix it. That's what I thought anyway, but I should have given you space. I'm sorry for being so pushy and sensitive. That's not your fault either, Miranda. Like, in this situation, it's, you know, it's not really on... Like, I don't want to say it's on either of you, because Terry did kind of overreact, but, you know, it's hard for me to really say it was like, oh, just Terry's fault. Like, she's acting her age, and like she was able to talk about it later and was able to apologize, and I think that is so important. Filbert, what about his older brother, the one on the phone? The one on the phone? The shark over there? I haven't named the shark. Huh. What should we name the shark? Like, Filbert is a, Why did I lose the name of this fish? Like, Filbert is an actual fish species. Why did I lose the name of the fish? Hold on here. Did I seriously lose the name of Filbert's species? This is sad. Well, for whatever reason, I can't think of the official species name, but like I believe it was lanternfish, which is the most common deep sea fish. That's what Filbert is supposed to be if lanternfish is the correct name. In other words, I just snatched him and put him on a keychain because he was swimming right by. So, the little shark boy here, what should I name him? I usually come up with names of all my plushies on the fly. And I usually go with human names for some reason. Sam. His name is Sam. That's what I've decided. Miranda, please let me give you my love. Right? Miranda's so sweet. Miranda, don't blame yourself for this. Hardly. Miranda Eckert having a flaw? I've never heard such a crazy thing. Oh. Miranda let out a ghost of a giggle. Cove cleared his throat. Maybe you should call each other now. Sorry.
Sure.
Can do. Thanks for giving me the kick in the butt to do this already. Randy Mandy, I'm gonna call you right now. That's so cute, Randy Mandy. I love that. Bye, Rain and Cove. She hung up after squeezing in a quick bye, though not giving you or Cove room to respond in kind. Miranda laughed, the noise tinkling gently like wind chimes in a summer breeze.
You're really
Thank you for listening and helping. I'm gonna hang up now so I can answer Terry's call. Bye.
Bye and good luck. That's not me. That's Cove. Bye and good luck. We named the shark Sam. That is the name. I have spoken. Bye. Miranda hung up, still chuckling softly as your call ended. The room felt emptier without the other voices in it. Cove expelled a sigh that crashed through the newly fallen silence. He dropped his arms to his side, letting his head hang down like a puppet at rest. Thank God. I'll just say I'm relieved it's okay. Cove scratched at his face, his expression cloudy. I think I need to find better ways for dealing with conflict because that was awful. Yeah. Sam? Cool, so it's an older sister? Can be! I said earlier that Filbert is a... I don't fully remember. It's been quite a while since I designed this. But if I remember right, Filbert is a lanternfish because I designed him after the most common fish of the deep sea. Because I just grabbed him and put him on a keychain. Because he's a dime a dozen. But if I remember right, that's the case. Sam here is a keychain and a shark, and those are pretty dime a dozen too, so it works. Can be an older sister. Okay, let's see. We could all probably do better. Cove meekly smiled as he rubbed at his eyes, weariness creeping over him, and mumbled his next words. We can talk about it another day. Conflict resolution methods?
Huh?
Oh, no, forget it. What was it? I'm curious. Imagine if Cove meets Toothless from How to Train Your Dragon. Oh. That would be cute. I think Cove would freak out for a little bit, though. If he was in that world. Like, I'm trying to imagine the whole thing. I'd love to see Cove as a dragon rider, though. That would be so cute. Like, imagine him, like, riding over the water. Like, I can imagine him just absolutely enjoying that. Your eyebrows rose, and then a light bulb went off in your head. Before Miranda called, didn't you say there was something you'd wanted to say? Cove's original visit had been thrown so off-kilter that it was a struggle to wind your mind back to when he'd first turned up. Now you did, though you remembered that he had been perky when he'd arrived this afternoon. Was it good news? Cove brushed his hands against his now folded arms shyly. Well, yeah, maybe. I'm not exactly sure it counts as news or even good. It's just is what it is. I'm happy about it, though. Oh, I just heard a very sad meow from outside the door. Oh, I think think Oliver is saying get off the stream. I'll finish this chapter though. You were never going to be one to push someone else to talk when they seemed reticent.
It's okay, but it sounds good.
Cove chuckled awkwardly, a hand creeping up to ruffle the hair on the back of his head.
It's fine.
If you want to hear, I can tell you. He shifted on his feet as if a different posture might give him the support he needed for the conversation.
I didn't want to make it a big deal, but I I just know my sexuality is now.
Oh! I told you it was just an art. Oh, no. Oh, poor Oliver. It's okay. I'll give him treats after the stream, and then he can sleep in my lap like he wants. Also, you climbed in my room to talk about your sexuality. Okay, go. I guess there's not many topics that, like, you know, wouldn't make me laugh on why you just climbed into my room.
A real subject change, huh?
He chuckled. True, it was unexpected, but you were excited that Cove had come to understand himself more, and glad he wanted to share that with you. You clapped your hands softly. And? Cove drew a breath, straightening up.
I'm demisexual, so you know, most of the time, I don't really have those kinds of feelings. Physical wants and stuff. It's only in some situations when I'm already really emotional and romantically connected to someone that I start to ever think about anything sexual, and it's only with them. I hadn't heard the term until pretty recently, and it just made a lot of sense once I knew what it meant. I had a word that fit how I felt.
Yeah.
And I'm panromantic, because I've never had a preference for a specific gender or anything, so yeah.
You nodded as he spoke, completely understanding how he'd come to that conclusion. Cove looked down at the floor, being so open and direct about a matter that personal, which you were sure he'd spent a long time trying to figure out, seemed to be kind of weird for him. Despite that, there was a small, proud smile on his face. When he looked up again, his gaze was steadfast. All this talk of Cove's sexuality made you reflect about your own. Our feelings haven't wavered. We'll just stay the same. Since this is kind of like a generalized playthrough. I'm just looking over and I'm noticing my hair's in the way of the chat bubble. Oh, that's fine. Wait, does Cove like guys too? I think it's possible with what he said. Basically, it's gender does not matter. It's like the emotion, being emotionally connected to someone that matters. So yeah, I think Cove definitely could be attracted to guys. Actually, I'm pretty sure you can play as a guy in this game, so yeah, Cove definitely it doesn't matter what gender you are. I don't know why I had such trouble getting that out. But yeah, it makes sense because you can play as a guy in this game. Alright, Cove... Oh, my cat is screaming. I'm sorry, Oliver, give me 1 minute. I think this chapter's close to finishing. Cove had known for years now. It was heartwarming that he had reached a point where he felt similarly capable of discussing his own. You felt even closer. You felt his tiredness deep in the marrow of your bones. It had been a trying day. Now everything was neatly wrapped up, for today at least, and you had earned a rest. You had some good talks and came out of it not knowing each other, now knowing each other better. But yourself too. I didn't say any of that correctly. Wow. Let me try that one more time. You'd had some good talks and come out of it not only knowing each other better, but yourself too. That reading wasn't great. I give it 60%. It's a passing grade, but not the best. You can do better, Angie. Hey, we could probably head downstairs soon, if your moms are still wanting everyone to get together.
Yeah, that's right.
With a renewed spring in your step, you led the way to
You led the way out of your room. You got downstairs to find the others already assembled and waiting. In the Omegaverse, it's where the Alpha and Cove is the Omega. This means you... Coming swinging at me again. Alright. With a renewed spring in your step, you led the way out of your room. You got downstairs to find the others assembled and waiting.
Hi.
Hello. Hey. Good to see you both.
Hey.
Hi. Here we are, trying to corral everyone in a group, but the two of you were already up the stairs this whole time. Of course we were together. You paid Rain to stick with me, or did you forget? This statement was meaningless to your family, who looked at each other for answers in vain. Mr. Holden, who got the message loud and clear, seemed embarrassed. He chuckled nervously, rubbing the back of his head. Yep, that is something that he will never let you forget. Yeah, his dad stays young. Same with his mom. The Holden family ages really well. Ouch, son. You always know when to remind me of that one. Uh-huh. I can't let you live it down yet. Can we hear exactly what that secret is? The suspense is killing us.
Right.
Alright. I'd better get everyone up to speed. He held up his hands, palms out, pacifying his audience, or perhaps holding them up as a shield in advance. That first day I met Rain, I'd been worrying about Cove being alone for the summer.
Well.
There weren't a lot of kids around, and he wasn't exactly on the best terms with me at the time. He glanced around at your family, gauging their responses. It felt like this was my one shot, so I kind of offered her $20 to be friends with Cove, and added that she couldn't tell him about it. If Mr. Holden was an animal, he will be a stingray because of his tattoo. I think a stingray really fits. I think you were onto something with that. Today was a great day for me. I'm glad. Had the best nap of all time. That does make a good day. Oh man, I need a nap right now. Best grilled cheese? Yeah. That does sound good. Let's see here. Liz gasped. Ma was staring incredulously at Mr. Holden while Mom's eyebrows had retreated to her hairline. You and Cove, already knowing the story, were the only ones unaffected. But after a while, I really did honestly forget it had happened. Unironically, the best grilled cheese I've ever had in my whole life. Ah, man, you're making me hungry. That sounds too good. Hold on, Cove's surname is Cove Holden? Yep, Cove Holden. But after a while, I really did honestly forget it ever happened. He raised his hands together, now level with his shoulders. Not a bad idea, you thought. If Mom felt inclined to throw a cushion at him, he probably managed to block it in time. I know that's bad, but I've had so many grand ideas over the years, it's hard to keep track of them all. Cove smiled, placing his hands on his hips and shaking his head at his father's antics.
Seriously?
I can't believe you. Though, also, I totally can. Mr. Holden with that tattoo also reminds me of Moana's grandmother. Oh yeah! I can see where you made that connection. Oh, that was so cool. I loved that movie. I mean, I bet you guys can't imagine why I would love the Moana movie or anything with all the ocean theming, but yeah, I loved that movie so much. The stingray stuff was so cool. Ow! I just hit my arm! Ow! Ow! That was my funny bone! No! Okay! I'll breathe through the pain! Your moms were less indulgent. The shock had ebbed away to displeasure. Mom's foot was tapping rapidly as she frowned at the next door neighbor, while Ma had her arms crossed over her chest, her lips pursed. I'm sorry, Rain, and I'm sorry to your parents too. That was way out of bounds. If anything in creation exists without my knowledge, it exists without my consent. He says he will never die, he dances in light. Ah! They're making a second movie of Moana this year. Yeah, I heard about that they were making a second movie, but I haven't seen the trailer for it yet. I'm very excited, though. Like, I loved the first one a lot. They're also making a live action, I heard. I don't know quite how I feel about that. Judge Holden, more Angie. Seen it on TikTok. Oh, I see. Don't worry about it, everything worked out. Your moms gave each other that look, where they seemed to communicate with eyes alone. Alright, well, that's that then, and it won't happen again.
Absolutely.
It definitely won't. Good. It was a little surprising that they were letting him off the hook, but on the other hand, it was a long time ago now, and you were sure your moms remembered those painful early days of Cove's arrival too. Mr. Holden wasn't a potentially bad influence anymore, so a lecture would be pretty moot. Instead, your ma gave him a lenient smile.
Nice.
Now that it's settled, why don't we find something to do? Nods of agreement cascaded through the group and a couple waves at that suggestion. Mr. Holden's shoulders slumped with a release of tension. He brought his hands down, tucking them away in his pockets. How about cards? There was a murmur of interest from the others. Yeah, sure, I love cards. I do like card games. Look on the bright side, we were finally logging in and not talking about random things as much before. We spent the entire first hour of live talking about anything but the game. Yep! That happened! I know Space and Josh are gonna be looking at this later like, what is this? Somehow we've had less people in chat, and I have gotten even more off topic than I usually do. Alright, it was nearly, but not quite, unanimous. Mr. Holden demurred. I think I'll sit this one out. Where's the fun in that? Join in. We're not too angry with you. Yes, and I know there's a lot of people, but we can make it work. Mr. Holden shrunk into himself, embarrassed by their attention. Dad, you love playing cards. We do it at our house all the time. Dad. Mr. Holden broke under the combined force of everyone's attention. Cove, you're an adult now. You deserve to know the truth. I used to throw the card games so you could win. Oh, no. I don't think you can recover from that one. Imagine a GB patch game, make a game that you can date Cove's mother and father. That would kind of be weird and interesting. Yeah, we were talking about that in like one of the first playthroughs. Like these guys, like the adults look like they were made for a dating sim. Like Mr. Holden is too attractive. And it's the same with Cove's mom. They are so attractive. It's like, you know, I wouldn't mind if there was like a dating simulator where like we could, but like, you know, age appropriate and everything. Like, you know, you're the same age as the adults. But like, it'd be fun. Weird, but fun. I put up a good fight, but I always made sure to lose a lot more rounds than I won. He toyed at the end with his ponytail, clearly distressed at the second great secret he was revealing today. That is one I don't think you can recover from, Mr. Holden. I still have not got over the fact that the game has a Not Safe for Work DLC. It's about to have a second, if I remember right.
And I think they're making a second NSFW DLC. They might have already made it. I can't remember if they have or haven't. But I remember there was talk about the second one. What kind of visual novels do you like? I play all sorts. So, like, I do play a lot of dating sims, but I also play a lot of horror games. Like, I really like Umineko and Higurashi are some of my favorites, because I like mysteries. I oftentimes, if I'm bored and alone, I will just go on to Itch and just play random visual novels that I find. By the way, I have to go. Have a good night. You have a good night too. Thank you for stopping by. So yeah, with visual novels, I will just play all sorts. As soon as I'm 18, I'm going to buy the game and both of them. Yeah, the NSFW DLC I think is Patreon. And it will definitely be around for a long time. Let's see. I know people want to be taken seriously and fake wins don't mean as much, but I couldn't help myself. It's so much better when everyone else gets the chance to be victorious. Kyra knew and went along with it. Cove laughed in disbelief that this was the thing his dad stressed about hiding after the other stunts he's pulled over the years. So what? Lots of parents do that. I hadn't guessed it, sure, though looking back it makes sense. That's right, what's the big deal, Cliff? You can finally take the kid gloves off and give them a run for their money. What the heck? There's two flies in here. Where are they coming from? Did I leave the window open or something? What is going on? Maybe even actual money in your case. Mr. Holden smiled coyly, his gaze lowering. I'm not sure that's a good idea.
Why?
And why not? He waved his hands expensively, the movements fluid and vague. It's just actually, I am something of a card shark. I used to make lots of fast cash off games. Casual players don't have a shot unless it's a game of pure luck. Oh my god. Cove's jaw hung open, his wide eyes fixed on his father. Really? There was a touch of amazement, even admiration nestled along the shock. The other members of the Sky family exchanged looks ranging from Liz's disbelief to Mom's intrigue, when Ma something in the middle between the two. You can't simply make a claim like that and then expect us to go along with it. Let's see you back it up, Shark Man. Mr. Holden gave her a crooked smile, his demureness quickly being replaced with the confidence of someone very skilled or very misguided. You sure about that? Definitely. We've got to see this so-called non-casual player in action. Well, I might be able to. Though who knows, maybe I've gotten rusty. His coyness continued to rile the gang up, and he was getting a kick out of it now.
Please?
Come on, please.
Alright.
Alright, I can dust off the old tricks. I hate playing RPGs, specifically when there is someone that is too skilled. They're too skilled at the game. They add 1, then add 10, and then you notice that it was a thermonuclear bomb out of their pocket. Yeah, playing those games with someone that's really, really good can certainly be fascinating. You clapped your hands. Cove beamed at his father, and Mom clapped Mr. Holden on the back. Liz darted off to get a deck of cards, while the rest of you settled in for the game. Hands were dealt. Mr. Holden wasted no time proving his words true, wiping the floor with all of you. You played several rounds, even switching games, but none of you were a match for him. That was how the alliance came to be forged. The rest of you joined forces against Mr. Holden, only, just to try increasing the odds of beating him. With your combined efforts, you pulled out a few victories, yet it was still a challenge. He was clearly a professional. If these were his skills now, rusty with disuse, you couldn't even imagine what a deadly opponent he had been in the past. Despite that, you still had fun. Working cooperatively actually fostered a sense of camaraderie with the others. Mr. Holden didn't appear fazed by this strategy. You actually wondered whether the increased challenge made it more interesting for him. You spent the rest of the afternoon together with your family and the Holdens, having fun. It was an interesting evening for sure, with many discoveries for everyone. It was freeing, and yet simultaneously, you felt more tied together than you had been before. Okay. Well, that will do it for this one, because it's been 2 hours and my voice is, bad. My voice is bad. I'm losing it. Alright, so with that being said, I think I am going to end this video here. Like always, thank you guys so much for joining me today. It was a lot of fun. Like I said, less people in chat, but somehow we got even more distracted than usual. I'm alone eating dinner on my room, just imagining the sad Reddit. Is a phone and watching Angie movie. What? Alright. Where was I? Where was this outro? Alright. Thank you guys again for watching. Really appreciate it. As always, love you lots, and I will see you in the next stream. Bye-bye!